What is up, guys? It is your boy Mark Multiplies, and we are back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the full Easter egg guide for the Black Ops 6 Zombies map Terminus. So jumping right into it, the first thing we're going to want to do is to activate Pack-a-Punch. And to do this, we're going to need to activate these 3 generators that are located around the map. The first one can be found right outside of the spawn room as you spawn into the map. And what you're going to want to do is to just defend these generators each for about 30 seconds. And once you've finished, you can move on to the next one. The second generator you're going to want to activate is located right through these doors, and it is in the same room as Juggernog. So once again, just turn on the generator, defend it for about 30 seconds, and once you have completed that, you're ready to move on to the third and final generator. Okay, so making our way down into the sea caves, we're just going to want to come into the biolab area, and this is where we're going to find our third and final generator. So once again, just activate it, defend it for about 30 seconds, and once we are finished this generator, as you'll see on screen, we're just going to want to jump over this railing into the water, and then we just need to activate this lift, and once we've activated this lift, Pack-a-Punch will just come to the surface. Okay, so now that we've activated Pack-a-Punch, what we're going to want to do next is to locate 3 laptops around the map. And the first laptop that I'm going to show you guys is right here in this corner, and you can find this laptop location right outside of the quick revive room. All you're going to want to do is go up to these laptops and hold square on them to interact with them, and they should just turn on. Okay, so moving on to the next laptop location, you can find this laptop right here in this corner, and this can be found right outside of the room with stamina up. Okay, so making our way to the third and final laptop location, just make your way to the lower part of the map again by the docks area, and this is where you will find the final laptop in this corner. So one thing you will need to know about this Easter egg is that you are going to be needing the new wonder weapon of the map, which is the Beam Smasher. And to get this wonder weapon, you can get it in a different amount of ways, such as going to the mystery box. But there is actually a quest within the map to guarantee you to get this weapon. So for the sake of the Easter egg guide, I am going to be taking you through this quest. So that way you can be guaranteed this new wonder weapon, and then you can continue on with the Easter egg. Next, what you're going to want to do is just to purchase the dead wire ammo mod for one of your weapons. And you can do this by going to any one of the arsenals located around the map. Just purchase the dead wire ammo mod, and then we can move on to the next step. Now that we have the dead wire ammo mod on our weapon, we're going to want to come back to Pack-a-Punch and then just activate this lift. The lift will start to raise, and once that happens, there's going to be some electric boxes that you're going to need to shoot, and you're going to need your dead wire ammo mod for this. So on screen, as you can see, the first electric box that you're going to see is right here through this window. You're just going to shoot that, and then if you turn to your right, you'll have another electric box there. If you turn around, you'll have your third electric box there. And then you're just going to make your way back into the Juggernog room. That's where we will find our 4th electric box that we need to shoot. And then if we just exit the room, on the wall we'll find our 5th box, and that will then open up the secret room for us. Once we've entered this room, we're just going to see the zombie to our left. We're just going to have to kill him, and he will drop us a yellow key card. Now what we're going to want to do with this yellow key card is take it over to the C tower. And once you are in the C tower, you're going to go to this table, and on this table you will see a briefcase. We're simply just going to interact with the briefcase and pick up the injector. Once we now have this multifaceted injector, what we're going to want to do is to head back to the lab. And once we are in the lab, we're just going to want to interact with this computer again. And once we do that, it is going to ask us for the 6-digit code, and that is going to lead us into the next step of this quest. What we're going to want to do now is to head back over to Dr. Peck, and as you can see on the screen, it'll give us the option to bribe Peck, and you're going to need 5,000 points for this, so just collect a bit of points. And once you head on over to Peck and you do bribe him, as you can see, it will give us the code that we need to put back into the computer. Once you've received this code from Peck, just head back over to the lab, and yeah, you'll be able to input the code into the computer. Now, once you've inputted this code into the computer, you're just going to have to end the round. This will allow the computer to choose one of the 3 locations it has on its screen, and these 3 locations are just the islands that are located outside of the map. So once you end the round, the computer will choose one of the locations, and then that's where we are going to be headed for our next step. Now that we have the location from the computer on which island to go to, all we're going to want to do is head over into one of the boats, head over to the island that was shown to you by the computer, and once you get to this island, you'll notice a colorful orb floating over the island. Now what you're going to want to do is place your multifaceted injector below the orb, and once you do that, it will place the multifaceted injector onto the floor, and this will now start to spawn a group of zombies. Once these zombies start to spawn, the orb will then zap one of the zombies at random, and this will allow you to kill that zombie, and that zombie that's been zapped will drop an orb, and that orb you just need to pick up and place it back into the main orb. This is going to happen 2 to 3 times before you can finish. And once you do finish the step and you do finish killing the zapped zombies and placing those orbs back into the main orb, that main orb will then disappear and it will head to one of the other 2 island locations. Now just pick up your multifaceted injector, hop back into your boat and head to one of the 2 other islands. Once you get to these islands, you'll see the exact same colorful orb. It's just a different color. But essentially what you're going to do now is rinse and repeat the steps from the first island. So once again, kill one of the zapped zombies. The zapped zombie will drop a colorful orb. Take that colorful orb to the main orb. Do this 2 to 3 times. Once you've done that, you'll just have to pick up your multifaceted injector off the floor again. The orb will then disappear to the 3rd island. Head over then to that 3rd island, rinse and repeat the same steps. And now once you've finished, the multifaceted injector will now be complete on the floor. Just pick that up and then we're going to move on to the next step. Now all we're going to want to do is head into the lab and we can finally craft the beam smasher. Now once we craft the beam smasher, the next step is to locate one of the 3 tentacle traps around the map that have a little key card on the floor. So once you find this little key card on the floor, what you're going to want to do is to activate the trap. And once the tentacles come out, what you're essentially going to want to do is to just laser the trap with your beam smasher, and it should drop a little yellow key card on the floor. Now, there are 3 locations for these tentacle traps around the map. 2 of them are in the biolab below. So one is on this side of the biolab and another one of the traps are on the other side of the biolab, as you can see here on the screen. Fortunately for me in my game, I got the 3rd location for the tentacle trap, which is in the Juggernog room right outside of the lab itself. So once again, all you're going to want to do is to locate the trap that has the little card on the floor. That's going to tell you whether or not this is the right trap to activate. Activate that trap, shoot the tentacles, and you should have the little key card drop, and we can move on to the next step. Now all we're going to want to do is to take this new hard drive to Peck. We are going to hand it into him through this little box here. He's going to start some dialogue, and then after that dialogue, we are going to want to go and locate 3 numbers around the map. The first number can be located if we come down these stairs and we just take a left into engineering. You will see here on the wall there is a little poster that says safety first, days since last injury, and the number on this poster is going to be the first number that we need. The second number that we're going to need to find is located right here in the mess hall, and it is going to be on this little cardboard frame, and it's going to be the playing card that we see on the screen. So just take a look at this playing card, and whatever the number is, that is your 2nd digit. The third and final number that we're going to need is located right here in the interrogation rooms, and it is going to be on this little clock on the wall. Now, you do need to notice that the hour hand of the clock is going to be the number that we need to remember. So if the hour hand is located closer to the 6 than it is to the 7, then just use the number 6. So whatever number that the hour hand is closest to is going to be the number that we're going to need to remember. Now that we have our 3 numbers, what we're going to want to do is come down to the biolabs, and we're going to want to interact with this big biosphere container. This guy inside will do a little dialogue, and then once the keypad does become accessible to us, we're just going to want to type in the 3 numbers that we just got. And once we type in those 3 numbers, we're just going to have to go up to these valves on the side. If you are playing co-op, just get your teammate to turn the other valve on the other side while you turn the one on your side. Once you've done this, it will now activate a mini boss fight. Now for this mini boss fight, one thing that I would recommend is that you do have a weapon that is at least double packed. Maybe upgrade the weapon a few times with your salvage, so upgrade its rarity. And now that you do have the beam smasher, maybe pack a punch that. And this will help you during this mini boss fight, because this mini boss is quite difficult. I mean, he does have quite a bit of hit points on him. There will be zombies spawning as well, so you will need to dodge and survive within this biolab while you killing the mini boss. And so what I recommend is you just circle around, you shoot him while you can, and then just keep surviving, run around, shoot him, get his health lower and lower every chance that you get. And eventually, once you get his health down to 0, you will kill him, and once you kill him, you will activate a cutscene. Okay, so once you've killed the boss, you're just going to want to jump over this ledge here into the water, face the direction that I'm facing, and it should lead you to a yellow key card. Pick this key card up, and once you have this key card, you're going to make your way to the communications room. Head over to this computer, hold square to interact with it, and once you've interacted with this computer, it should just make a dialogue for you, and after this, you are ready for the next step. Now that you've interacted with the computer, what you're going to want to do is head over to the ship, and underneath the ship there will be this ladder. You can use this ladder to now enter the secret room, which is the workshop. Essentially what you're going to want to do in here is to just grab this connector node, and once you grab this connector node, and if you are in co-op, get your teammate to grab the other one. Once you've grabbed these connector nodes, it will essentially just make a mini lockdown. The mini lockdown does not last too long, it is about a minute or two. And once you've finished with this mini lockdown, you will be given a max ammo. And once you've received this max ammo, just head back down into the boat. And what you are going to want to do is take these connector nodes and essentially repair 2 of the 3 pipelines around the map. So the first location I'm going to show you is if you exit the ship, just head over here to this island and look at the pipeline and see if it needs repairing. If it is missing and it can be repaired, just interact with it. You will connect your connector node to it, and that means it is repaired, and you can head off to the next location. Now for the second location, just head back over to the docks, and once you've reached the docks, just look underneath the tower, and in the back corner you should see another pipeline, and this is another location of a pipeline that could need to be repaired. The third and final location for a pipeline that could need to be repaired is underneath in the sea caves right over here by this location. If it does need to be repaired, just repair it. And once you've repaired 2 out of the 3 nodes that you needed to repair, you are done and you can move on to the next step. Now all you have to do is head back to Peck. He's going to do a little bit of a dialogue, and then he's going to give you a hacking device. Now we're going to want to take that hacker and go and find 3 buoys located around the map. So what you're going to want to do when you find your first buoy is just hop out into the water, hold square to interact with the buoy, and you will begin hacking it. Once you are finished, just hop back into the raft and you will have to go and locate the next 2 buoys. There are 3 in total, and it does make this much easier if you do have a teammate, and you can just let your teammate stay in the raft while you hack the buoy, and he can just pick you up once you are finished, and then you can head to the next buoys. Now the sea monster does usually chase you, but he's not really a threat if you do move generally quite quick. So once you know you finish the step, you will see the time on the left hand side of your screen. It will run out and it won't be there anymore. You will usually have to hack all 3 buoys around the map, and to locate them, usually the easiest way is to just, after you find your first buoy, head in a circle around the map and you should just run into the next buoys. One thing that's worth noticing as well is the first time I did this, I got confused with the outer layer of buoys in the water. You can't really hack those at all. You can only hack the 3 which need to be hacked, and those are the ones with the lights above them. So they are quite big, they do have lights on them, and they are quite spread out throughout the map in the water. So just head to all 3, hop into the water, hack the buoys, and once you are finished, you will move on to the next step. Okay, so once you have hacked all the buoys, it is important to know now you will be on a timer for the next step. So what you're going to want to do is immediately make your way to the biolabs. Once you are there are going to be 3 bombs that you will need to defuse. These bombs each take 15 seconds to defuse, so I would recommend maybe getting monkey bombs for this step just to help you out. It is always easier if you do have a teammate in co-op, because that way they can protect you while you defuse the bombs. Aether Shroud could work really well here, as it will make you invisible to the zombies, and just anything generally like a decoy grenade, maybe to distract them, but anything just to keep them off you while you defuse these 3 bombs. I have noticed that there is usually only 3 spawns for these bombs. There's usually one over here by this window on the bottom platform, and then if you make your way just across the bottom platform to the other side, there's another bomb. and then there's usually one bomb spawn at the top right here by this window. So once again, you will be on a timer. Just use all the tools you have at your disposal, defuse these 3 bombs, and once you've defused these 3 bombs, you are actually now ready for the boss fight. Now that you are ready for the boss fight, I would recommend you do a few things just before you go in. I would recommend that you just point farm so that you can upgrade your current weapon to Pack-a-Punch tier 3. It is essential, and especially go to the arsenal and upgrade your weapon to legend rarity, because your weapon is going to be the main weapon we're going to be using on the boss fight. If you do have the beam smasher, you could also Pack-a-Punch it to tier 2 just to help out with the zombies that are going to be in the boss fight. I would recommend you get all your perks, you get your tier 3 armor plate off the wall in the biolabs, and essentially maybe just pick up some monkey bombs, and if you could also grab a chopper gunner or a mutant injection, as this will help during the boss fight. So now once you are ready to enter the boss fight, just head down here to the biolabs, just interact with this keypad on this door, and then if you are in co-op, just get your teammates to click up on the D-pad, and then after you've done this, you will be teleported into the boss fight. Okay, so the boss fight mechanic is quite simple. Initially, the boss is just going to have these orange orbs on his shoulders. They are his critical spots, so you will just need to shoot them to do damage to them. This is where our tier 3 Pack-a-Punch weapon comes in handy. Also, just to notice, you should be just focusing on survival. So whenever the zombies are around you, just focus more on the zombies, because if you just stay alive, you will have those moments that you will be able to do damage to the boss. And if you do this, you will decrease your chances of getting overwhelmed and overrun. While you're doing damage to the boss, I would recommend that you move along the outer layers of the pier, because if you stand still within the spawn area, it is very easy to get overwhelmed, and manglers do spawn as well as other elite zombies. So just move along the outer layers of the pier. It will increase your chances of survival a lot more. One thing you need to notice, if you move along the outer layers of the pier, whichever side you are on, the boss will go underwater and then pop up on that side, and he will slam that side. So while he's slamming, I would recommend you just obviously run into another side of the pier. And also, while you're on these outer layers of the pier and in the spawn, there's going to be tentacles in the background of the boss fight. They are just going to be shooting at you, and they do get quite annoying. So when they do glow yellow, you will be able to shoot them, and it will just eliminate them, and then they will probably spawn later on. But it just, it's crowd control, so it just decreases them shooting at you for the time being if you do just take them down. The boss also has a mechanic whereby he slams the center of the spawn. It does not insta-kill you, so don't be afraid of moving through the center there if you have to. It does just briefly stun you, but it is not major. So just continue doing damage to him around his shoulders, and once you've done enough damage, he will actually change into this lava magma type form. And once he changes into this form, just continue shooting him in his mouth. That's going to be the new critical spot when it opens up for you. So just continue moving along the outer layers of the pier for surviving. And whenever you get a chance to shoot the center of his mouth, that is the new critical spot. Once you do enough damage to him while he is in this lava form, he will change forms again back to his original form. And you will actually see now that his critical spots turn into his tentacles. So they will be glowing yellow. And all you're going to want to do is to shoot the left and right tentacles and basically just break them. Once you've done this, he will just alternate back into the lava magma form, and then you will just have to continue doing damage to his mouth. Make sure you keep moving along the outer layers of the pier, you keep shooting those background tentacles, and you just keep crowd controlling the zombies with your monkey bombs and your beam smasher. Once you have gotten his health quite low, he will disappear for a while, and it will spawn quite a large amount of zombies and elite zombies. You will just basically have to do this mini lockdown and clear out all the zombies. And once you do this, he will actually give you a max ammo, and then you can continue on with the damage phases. Once he returns back up, he will actually be in this like electric blue form, and now the critical spots have turned into his eyes. So you will want to focus damage on his eyes, but do be careful, because once he is in this form, he will actually do some type of electric charge up. And when he does this, he's going to eventually slam the center of the spawn where you are, and it will insta-kill you if you are not behind cover. So make sure while he is doing this electric charge up, you hide behind one of the two boxes in the spawn, or you potentially jump into the water and hide behind the wall. The boss also does have a mechanic whereby he shoots out his tongue, And if you run into his tongue when he shoots it out at any point, you will be sucked into his mouth. What you're going to want to do now is to just shoot the orbs on his shoulders and it will let you go. So if you do get sucked into his mouth, just call out to your squad that you will have to shoot the orbs on his shoulders, and that way you won't get insta-downed when he sucks you into his mouth. Also, just be aware when he goes into this blue electric form, he will block off the piers with his tentacles, and if you run into them, you will be downed. So just make sure you stay away from those tentacles, you rotate around the spawn, you kill the elite zombies and just throw your monkeys and do everything you can just to get some damage off of his eyes. And once you've done enough damage to his eyes and you've depleted his health bar, you have eventually completed the Easter egg. Once you have completed this boss fight, a little dialogue will play. You will actually go into a cutscene, and then you will actually be given an option to continue the match, or you can exfil. And now if you do choose to continue the match, I will just show you on screen a couple of the rewards that you do get once you load back into the map. I do think that it's a pretty cool feature that they added, that if you do choose to stay within the game after the Easter egg, you can just come and collect the ray gun here, you can upgrade your weapons with legendary ether tools, and you just get a whole bunch of rewards. Maybe it could just help you gear up for a high round if you want to continue playing after the Easter egg, and I just think it's a pretty cool feature that they added. But that is it for the Easter egg tutorial, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to smash that like button. If you do wish to see content like this going forward on my channel, such as Easter egg guides and tutorials, please hit that subscribe button. All the support on the channel is much appreciated, and by the grace of God, I'll see you guys in the next one.